Wonderful. We're live, and hello, all you old darlings out there, and welcome yet to another Icebreakers. No guests this time, just the four of us, lovely little Nordlings. My name is Hedley. I'm here from IGDA Finland, game design teacher, operations managers, all that boring stuff. But I'm here with lovely co-hosts. I'm joined here by Sylvia from Norway.
I'm from the Norwegian Network for Video Game Companies. I'm excited to be here.
Lovely to have you here for a very lovely little Christmas stream. And then we are also joined by Kim from Sweden, who had a little accident last time, couldn't join us, but is finally back. And we're very happy to have you here, man. Good to see you. All good.
Now that you mentioned it, do I have to say why? Do I have to explain a little bit? Because it is like...
We didn't explain anything. It's all up to you, man.
No, so it's embarrassing. I fell down the stairs and I hit my head. And I got a concussion. And then it took almost 2 weeks to get back on track. Currently, I have a flu as well. So if you see my nose running a little bit, I'm sorry. But yeah. I'm Kim. I'm from IGDA Sweden. I'm also an evangelist, so I like talking, and I hope today's going to be fun, basically.
Maybe just say evangelist of what, so people don't assume.
Evangelist of video games. Sorry. Technical marketer, if that makes more sense.
Yeah. So we're not going to be trying to indoctrinate you into any religion yet, but we'll see. And then, of course, we'll get there. Then, of course, everything is kind of run by our wonderful, lovely producer, Viv, who is also from Sweden and behind the scenes. Hello. There you go. That's our Viv. Lovely to have all of you all here. And tonight's topic is winter games or Christmas games or holiday games or whatever way you want to put it. And it's a bit of a softer topic. We're going to maybe reminisce a little bit about, what was it like to play games when you were a kid on Christmas holidays. We're going to talk about our games of the year. We're going to talk about what we're planning on playing. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, really. But yeah, so I think we can maybe just start with that. And I don't know, which of you wants to...
Sorry. Before we start, though, I want to mention that we would love to hear from the audience as well. Since today is going to be so casual, we'd love to have a little bit of conversation going on from the people that are watching at the moment. So if you have any answers to the questions that we're going to be bringing up, we'd love to hear it. Because, everybody plays different games, everybody's interested in different things, and that's how we get good conversations going. So we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, that's a good point. Thank you for pointing out. Yeah, if you do have anything, audience, please fill in, or any thoughts, or any sort of. We have different topics for different, So you'll know. Yeah, just shout out. It's all good. But yeah, so I think we can just kind of start with a pretty simple and do you guys have a sort of specific games that you play, like the same game, or like a genre or style of games that you play during the holidays?
But do you want to start, Sylvia, or should I start?
You can go first.
Yeah, because mine's pretty easy, and it's just the holidays for me and my family. It's just really not like a religious thing or about the gifts most of the time. We're all young adults with not that much money, so there's not a lot of gifting going on, but we play a lot of couch co-op games or party games. So Mario Kart or Guitar Hero, SingStar, if that's the thing that you guys know, things that you can play together casually without anyone getting extremely mad. Mario Kart, of course, is the exception where we do furiously scream at each other. But it's just a good time.
The only way to play Mario Kart. So
yes. But games where everyone can join, it doesn't matter if it's our mom or our dad. Everyone can be in. That's kind of our genres.
That's a pretty good answer, to be honest. Quite like that. Makes sense. I was going to say co-op game. Mario Kart is everything except a co-op game. It's most ruthless PvP game I've ever played. But that kind of games that it brings people together, even if it is in anger, is still a contained anger. Put it that way.
Yes,
it's still nice. It's still nice.
Sort of accepted anger.
Yeah, acceptable anger. Yeah, like a great outlet. Of
exactly.
Anger. I will say that Mario Party is almost the opposite of that. That is some emotional stuff right there. But Sylvia, how about you?
Oh, I've got a little bit of the opposite from Kim because none of my family plays games, tabletop or video games. So I can't bond with them in that way. I end up, I have a best friend in the UK, and we end up just gaming together because he celebrates on Christmas Day and we celebrate on Christmas Eve. So like we take, when I have to get away from my family on Christmas Eve, then we go and we meet up and play a lot of games together. Generally, we play a lot of RTS games. We're very big strategy fans. So it's the genre is just strategy games that we can play co-op.
That's cool. I think maybe strategy games are like a good Christmas game because you do spend a lot of time doing it in like one session, and so you're talking constantly, kind of like playing Monopoly. You're just sitting and talking for like hours. It's like, okay, dude, I'm not saying Monopoly is a great Christmas game.
No,
I'm just saying like it's that sort of like board gamey sort of feel where you kind of spend time together.
Yeah, that's fair. That would just hurt me a little bit. I was nodding. I was like, yeah, this sounds. Oh, wait, what? Where?
No, dude, I hate Monopoly. I hate Monopoly.
I would honestly like to try a version of Monopoly that they've changed the rules somehow to make it an actually engaging and interesting game. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to put that much effort and time into Monopoly. So
that's true. Yeah. I think you should look into the original rules. They're slightly different before they were purchased by like a big publisher.
The original rules was. I think the whole point was that it was a very ruthless game because it was called the Landlord game to show like how landlords just kind of leech from people. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I've tried it and it's way better. It's a way better game. It's not very similar to Monopoly as it is now. You have to read the rules first of all, but it's a better game design wise. Like immediately we start talking game design, but
fair enough. Also, I will point out that most people play Monopoly wrong. They have like this weird house rules, and they're like, yeah, you get all the money from them. Like, the money goes to the middle, and you get the money if you go there. I'm like, no. It's just like also if you go somewhere and you don't buy it, then it goes into auction. Anyone can buy it. Like it's a surprisingly fast game if you play by the proper rules. It's still not a great game, but like at least the pain is shorter. I will give you that. So, but yeah, I do like, Sylvia, what you said. So like having online friends, like honestly, some of the online friends to the rescue. Like they are sometimes kind of the best to kind of just get away from it all in a way. So that was some good stuff.
Same thing to get to be with during the Christmas holidays. I don't know about you, but my family is intense, put it mildly.
Yes.
How big of a family are you when you're together, all of you?
Oh, no, we're just five. We're just five, but it's 5 personalities that should not be mixed together for a very long period of time.
Fair. We're a little smaller, so I don't know. I think bringing my wife along makes everyone civil. So it's great. It's
that's cool. See, I don't have that like thing because my siblings have partners. My mom doesn't have a partner, and I don't have a partner with me this Christmas. So it's gonna be my siblings being really happy with Christmas, and me and my mom getting probably drunk off glue wine for like the next 8 hours, and they're gonna be in their rooms. So we'll see what happens. It might be a mild Christmas, it might be an intense Christmas. Who knows? It's very different.
That's the magic of Christmas. You never know.
Yes.
Do you have a specific type of game or a genre that you tend to play during Christmas?
Well, yeah. So I usually holidays are the time when I was a kid in our household, we were always very active. Like if it was a weekend was like to get all the chores done and to like there was like just very little of like just proper sort of downtime. But the day after Christmas, which is Boxing Day, I think, maybe in English, whatever. Like the 25th is the only day of the year when my parents are like, yeah, everybody just chill. No, we'll just eat the rest from you. Like, no, nobody does anything today. 26th, different story. 25th was like this magical day of peace and quiet, and so yeah, like, and still today, I think the what we call the middle days between Christmas and New Year's is this time which I very seldom get, is like a longer period of just peace and quiet, and then I get to play games. So I often, surprisingly often, end up playing like these heavier single player games because it's the easiest time for me to kind of get into them. So yeah.
Well, that's a good like segue thing. That so what game, if you're gonna play like a heavy single player game, what are you gonna play? Because I know there's been a lot of single player games coming out. There's one specific I'm thinking that you're gonna play. We'll see if that's the one you answer. I'm curious.
Let's see. Okay, so the game I've been eyeing quite a lot is Dwarf Fortress, because they just came out with the update with the graphical one. Because I used to try to play the ASCII one, but it was a lot. It was a little heavy, especially it doesn't support the mouse or anything. So I was like, I played it, and a lot of dwarves died, and I thought it was better for me and the dwarves that I don't play it in that form. So I've been eyeing that a little bit. But what were you thinking about?
I thought you were gonna say Callisto Protocol. Because that one, like, it seems like your kind of game. It's like graphically intense, and it's like a single player experience. That's the sort of games that I've heard you like, sort of. You know?
Okay, maybe. I play mostly a lot of indie games. So okay, when we come to the game of the year, we'll look into it. But sure. Also Callisto, I'm not great with horror games, honestly. So that's
fair.
The only way I can play horror games is either having a friend by me that I can throw my controller to when it gets scary, or as I did with Resident Evil Village, was that I streamed it on Twitch and my friends were there, and there was like 20 of us, and then them talking there made it like I'm not alone. It was fine. But otherwise, no, never alone. Get out of here,
dude. I'd watch that easily. That would be so much fun.
I did buy the other Resident Evil, so I might do another stream on that. So we'll see. But yeah, how about you? What are you gonna play?
Well, who do I answer first? Because that's the funny thing. I did buy Dwarf Fortress.
Oh,
and nice. I played. That's the thing. I bought it. It was just like before a weekend, and so I spent an entire Saturday morning and a day and afternoon playing Dwarf Fortress. It is a really, really fun and engaging game. It's very similar to like RimWorld or all of these like anthill sim games where you just have people running around doing stupid stuff and then they get angry and you have to fix their problems. I love that stuff. And like
they're the best storytelling games because they create actual stories.
So like the original Dwarf Fortress, which is still available, by the way, if you want to play Dwarf Fortress for free, you can go to the website and play it. Totally fine. But the Steam release for I think it's like €30. Just it's sort of the tutorial for the classic version. Like it has tutorials to start with, and then you see what's actually going on, and it's a little bit easier to get into. And so
also mouse support alone makes it more.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. So I'm going to be playing that a lot. I already have like 10, 12 hours in it. We'll see how many I have after, because it's a really fun game.
It is. Actually. It is. And when you mentioned the RimWorld and all these, like, and I think Crusader Kings falls under that. They're all good games, but they're like Walmart versions of Dwarf Fortress because they've been building this simulation like for 20 years, like 2 decades. It's the level of simulation is ridiculous. They simulate how textiles like get worn and like what's at the bottom of your feet, or like the insides of a dwarf. Like the simulation level is so deep, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna ask Sylvia, what are you gonna be playing?
Well, we mentioned single player games, right? I mean, because of course I'll be playing strategy games co-op with my friends, but I have one single player game that I'm thinking of playing this holiday, and that's Citizen Sleeper. So it's an indie game out this year, and I am very, very fond of narrative-driven text games, and so this is going to be my attempt at it. And especially since it's like set out in space and sci-fi is my passion, then I'm looking forward to trying this. I mean, you've got the narration-driven, and then it's in space, so I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for me, at least.
Narration in space, baby. Let's go. Yeah. I've been looking at it myself. Like it's everything I've heard about it makes it sound really interesting, and it looks very nice. Like it's that's a good shout out. Now maybe I have to add it to the list.
See, I think I glossed over it because I think I saw this game when I was in Prague at at the game dev session, like a conference in Prague, and I just kind of glossed over it because there was like so much attention for it. Like everyone was standing there trying to play it. So I was just like, I'll get to it whenever I get to it. So that's true. Like now I want to play it too. Like it looks really cool.
Is that the game we're going to play for our next Offtrack session?
That depends on the game length.
Yeah.
If it's a 300-hour game, then maybe not.
It's not. No. It's a pretty robust narrative from what I've heard and understood. I think Sylvia
looks really
knows
awesome.
more.
I don't really know more. I just read a little bit about it being a narrative-driven game that has dice rolls, kind of like in role tabletop games. And that really appeals to me. That kind of game. So and when your choices matter, it's like my heart. Yeah, I can't stand it.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is true. And to be fair, like I don't blame you for kind of skipping it because it's not a game that shows well in a conference or a con or
it was really hard to understand.
Yeah, because it's a slow game and it's very like text heavy. So yeah, that's not a place where it's kind of like trying to show Disco Elysium in a conference. It just doesn't work. So fair enough. Okay, cool. In that case, we could be making new Christmas memories playing these games, but what if we take a deep dive into past Christmases and kind of like particularly memories of a game they played during Christmas or just winter that like has really stood out to you? Who wants to go?
Music games, dude. Music games are a big one. So
I
don't. Have you guys played SingStar? Do you know what SingStar is?
Yeah,
no.
It's like karaoke basically, but it's totally gamified. So you get points when you do it correctly. Like you have to stay on the notes and everything. Yeah. We played that so much when I was a kid. Like every Christmas, we would go through all the 7 games and play every song, and it would be like duels, like guitar battle duels. Like we played guitar too, but for SingStar, we went hard. Like we had tournaments basically, and we were just like 3 kids messing about. But SingStar is a big one for me.
That's really interesting. I never thought about it because Guitar Hero is to me like very clearly a game, but I never thought about SingStar because it's just singing, and I don't want to say that singing isn't something, but I mean there's the game mechanic is singing. There's nothing else to it. It just follows you singing. Like it's on the border if it's a game. Like I'm not trying to diminish it or say that it's not a game, but I never really thought about it because it's so different. Like when you have a rock band where you have like the drums and guitars and then singing, it feels more like a thing. But because in my mind, I've always thought about like playing SingStar as more like we're just doing some karaoke. Like it hasn't really restricted. Like I haven't recognized it as playing a game as much. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The thing is, you get points. That's the thing that we got off on.
That's actually the one part about it that I don't like it, because I now that you mentioned what the game is, I remember I have played it with friends in the past, and I think that so as a little background, I studied music and I studied singing. So whenever I go to events that or not events, whenever I play games where that is required, or if I go to karaoke, it's the most shameful thing for me psychologically because I'm being judged by my singing. And I had enough of that when I studied it, like there was enough trauma being inflicted on me with my voice. I don't want to have a computer telling me that I'm singing terribly as well. And then all of my friends watching while that happens. So to me, that's a game mechanic I would prefer not to have, to be honest.
Yeah, no, fair.
And that's fair. I think we were a very musical family, and we still are. So we were very competitive about our singing. So it was like it wasn't that you were being told by the game. Yeah. No, it was competitive singing. So it wasn't the game telling us that we sucked. We saw that we sucked because our siblings would be better than us. Like that's like you gotta take an L sometimes.
Let me tell you about sucking at SingStar, okay? We're digging deep in the trauma bag now, okay?
Right.
I was in... Yeah, sorry? Were you say something?
Sorry, I just agreed. I agreed.
Yeah. This is like singing brings out like this shameful memory. So I was late high school and I was at my then girlfriend's friend's party. I knew, I don't know, like a handful of the people, and then the rest were just some randos. And there was like a bunch of these German dudes who were exchange students, and then I kind of bonded with them, and we talked a little bit. And then someone brought out SingStar, and then people, the usual, people sing, and fairly good. And then people are like, "Hey, you want to sing?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not a good singer. I'm not like, not my scene. They're like, okay. And then the evening goes on. They're like, come on, do something. I was like, fine, I'll do something. And before, like, it's been a party and people talk and and then of course the music stops when someone's singing because you can't hear it otherwise. But during the when people be singing, it's kind of been like good vibes and all that. And then I looked at the list, and the only one I knew, which is thanks to my wonderful bigger sister, she loved New Kids on the Block, which was maybe the first like proper boy band. And they had a song called Step by Step, which I kind of knew because of my sister listened to it a lot. So I was like, okay, let's go with this. And when I say that, like the whole flat just went quiet. Like it was just nothing. Like I started singing, and it like everything just kind of quiet, and people are just sort of okay. And I'm like going on. I'm like, oh Jesus! And then I finish, and there's like nothing for 5-10 seconds, and then one of the German dudes is like, can I have? Yes, okay. And then he just goes to sing, and then things start coming up. People start leaving again. I was like, oh, that was. I don't think I've ever played SingStar after that. So
no!
It's been like good 20 years of repressed trauma here.
SingStar is a really German thing though, because the only time it came up for me was also with Germans. They wanted to do SingStar, and it's like, Sylvia, you're an actual singer. You have experience, and you can do this. And I'm like, oh God, no. And I absolutely refused because I was so ashamed and I was so embarrassed to have to do that and get graded by it.
Normally I would say like, no, go and try. But like, according to my experience, it was a good move not to sing. Yeah. But I will also say nowadays I have friends, and if we do sing something, they're more supportive, and even if it's not great, which it is not, we can all laugh at it, and it's not like a awkward silence. It's a funny silence.
It has to be a game. That's the thing. Like if it's karaoke, like I suck at karaoke, but. Oh, it's stuck?
Stuck? Yeah, it looks like we're lagging. I wonder if people can hear us normally, or is it just the video that's lagging? Okay. Oh, they. Okay, so if they can't hear you, we're talking with our producer Viv, who's telling us that we're having some issues, and it's not just me having a conversation in my own head. But yeah, I wonder. We're fine?
Oh,
okay, we're back to normal.
Okay.
It's a Christmas miracle. But yeah.
mentioned in the chat that we should do an Icebreaker SingStar. I absolutely refuse. It will not happen. Absolutely will not happen ever.
Oh.
Yeah, let's maybe skip that if we ever want. Yeah, let's just. Oh, okay, no. We can do it. Kim can sing, and we can be like, yeah, go Kim, go Kim.
Damn.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's gonna be an engaging stream if I'm just singing for 90 minutes. I feel like that's like sort of low effort content. I don't know. I like singing, but we can play.
Maybe you can do that. Like if the chat has that, they get to choose the song, and then you gotta sing it, and then we can. Yeah.
It would have to be something like that. Well, anyway, enough about SingStar.
It's gonna be 90 minutes of like Never Gonna Give You Up or something.
Oh God. But anyway, moving on from SingStar. Do you guys have any other memories? We're talking about memories of Christmas and like games.
Dramatic memories, yes. Sylvia, do you have any good memories? Let's get away from this SingStar business nonsense.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, mainly it's getting away from my family during Christmas and my love for games, helping me to remove myself from situations that are a little bit difficult. And playing with my friends like that. I hate to be so boring, but like that is a yearly thing that really I love so much. Yeah,
it's not even boring. That's like a tradition. Like that's cool. Yeah. That's what Christmas is about. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're doing it with your family. Like, because everyone knows that Christmas is intense or whatever holiday you're celebrating. If you can get away and spend time with some other people as well, like you're just having a better Christmas in my book.
Yep.
You're just having Christmas with more people. That's just cool.
Pretty good way of putting it, honestly. Yeah.
So that's what Christmas is about for me. It's just like hanging out with as many people as I can. We'll see how that goes for me this year, because with the moving to the other side of the country and everything. But I don't know. It's still like I don't go for the gifts or even for the food. I feel like I had Christmas food like a lot. Like I eat a lot of Christmas food, and it's been 25 almost years of Christmas food. Like I get it now. I've had it, but
it's good though. It's good.
Yeah, it's good, but like I usually eat a little bit and then I just sit and talk, right?
Yeah, I guess I was just talking with someone earlier this week that like when you're adults and there's no kids around, Christmas becomes it's very, very different. Like when you're a kid, or if there's kids around, and at least in Finland, so usually the gifts appear under this tree, and then people sit down and eat, and the kids are like. And then they have to wait, and then there's the seconds, and then you have the dessert, and they're like, "Oh, can't we go?" And then you get there, and then they're like, "Oh." But then if it's just adults, you're like, "Oh, let's eat, let's drink. Oh, should we look at the presents? Yeah, let's have some. Oh, okay, yeah." And then like an hour later, like, here's your gift. Here's my gift. Okay. And then like if people ask me like, what do I wish for? I don't know what I want. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, like it's being Christmas as an adult. It's a little weird.
Different. It was very different. I actually specifically told my family this year that I didn't want a gift, and like if you're gonna give me a gift for X amount of money, like donate the money instead, because like I don't want a bunch of shit in my apartment. Like I'm finally like where I'm like I have the stuff that I want, and if I want something else, I'll go buy it. I'm an adult now. Right.
So like, you're one of those problems. My parents keep saying like, we don't want anything. And I was like, but like and then they give us gifts, and it's just like it feels bad if you can't you're part of the problem, Kim.
No, and I said like the Christmas gift for me is like I get to spend time with you guys. And like if you buy something for me to consume while we're hanging out, like a candy that I like or whatever, that's fine. Like I like those little marzipan sticks with chocolate on the outside, because I'm weird like that. But if someone like buys that for me for Christmas, like that's a really good gift, and I appreciate that. But if I get socks or like I don't know, a USB cable or whatever, it just feels like unnecessary spending and like wasteful. I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's one gift I do miss is like getting a new pair of woolen socks from my grandma when she was like that. Like that's.
I miss that too. Yeah.
If it's Christmas, like handmade, that's fine.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
stuff.
Yeah, like, but Man, the first Christmas after your last grandma passes, like that hits you hard because there's no woolen socks, and you're just like, well, what kind of shit Christmas is this? Like, it's just
That's the
I
thing.
don't know.
Maybe you need to be the one making socks.
I can be the grandma.
Yeah, anyone can be the grandma.
Let's go, Papa Hell. I'm gonna knit you some.
Our great aunt that is knitting for me anymore. Hell, next Christmas, I'd like some socks, please.
You know what? This is perfect. I want socks too. Then.
What did I agree? No, Papa Hell. Papa Hell is cancelled.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would be a too cool like November stream. It's just us like knitting socks,
sitting and talking about.
Yeah. No, but
I'm in. If we all do it, I'm in.
Like we'll do like a stream for like charity or something, and if you donate, like you get socks, but we only knit like tiny socks, so you don't get like actual socks, but like as a little token.
Yeah. That's true. Well, this is something to think about. Like, yeah, okay. There's something.
It's an idea. It's an idea.
There's a kernel.
Anyway,
to my answer to the question about like Christmas memories, I have this. So it was 2017, I think, or 2017 Christmas, and I got the HTC Vive, the first Valve VR headset, and I took it to my parents' place, kind of show them VR and like have them experience it, and they loved it. It was so I said it so you can see on the telly, you can see what the people see, and then one person had like this space to, goof around and look silly while going like. And it was really cool, and everybody loved it. And there's some wonderful videos of my sister who's first looking like, oh, it's beautiful, and then cut, and she's like crawling on the ground like, oh, get away from me. Get away from me! And it wasn't like even a game. It was this thing called the Blue, which is like where you're under the sea, and a whale got near her, and she just like freaked out. I don't blame her. I freaked out the first time the whale came near me, so that was I understand her. But the memory is like my mom really got into the VR games, and so the Christmas Eve night, it would be me and my mom. Everyone else went to bed. I had some beer, she had some wine, and we took turns. I would be playing this VR game where you go through this dungeon and fight the enemies and you search stuff, and she would be watching on the telly, and every now and then she's like, hey, you missed some gold over there. Like, yeah, killed that goblin. And I'd do it, and then when I finished the level, we'd switch, and she'd play this game where she shoots like as an archer and stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, mom, kill them all, woo! and we played until like 4 a.m. or something, and it was really, really fun. It was really cool.
That's nice.
And yeah, I hope I can one day kind of like redo this. I'm gonna get a new VR headset because I was borrowing from work back then, but like we'll see.
And it's really nice that your family wanted to participate in that.
Yeah, my dad wanted nothing to do. I once got him to try a game. Okay, it was a bit on me. I put like a game. I was like, what could he do? Like, okay, he's a hunter. He's been okay, maybe like shooting. So what's the best shooting thing? Okay, I'll put this zombie thing. But then that was a mistake. When they got to him, he was like, I was like, yeah, never again. So he's never touched it again. And my sister had enough with the whale. So yeah, so it was just But I do have a video of my mom trying to play this wave shooter where she's like bam bam bam, and then she falls on the floor and rolls on the floor to like avoid enemy fire. She's shooting and screaming like perkele, and it's just beautiful. Yeah,
just
my mom
really into it. That's awesome.
She got really into it. It was beautiful. Yeah, but yeah, that's my favorite. Like I guess Christmas gaming memory. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about earlier stuff, and I was like, yeah, they're all kind of cool, but I think this it's very recent, but like it's still maybe my favorite one.
Really have a memory that it's kind of like it's my memory, but it's with a different family. So one year for Christmas, I went to visit my best friend in the UK, and his family does something really interesting because they celebrate Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve, what they do is they get together like the whole extended family, so they're like 20 people, and they go to one person's house, like one of the brothers of the family, and everybody that wants to brings their computer with them, Like, so it becomes this major LAN party, and it's like this. And so the people that didn't want to play video games, they go off and they, do their thing. But all of the people that wanted to play video games, they all get together in this room and they all play strategy games with each other. And I got to be a part of that one Christmas, and I just thought that was just the coolest experience. That this family got like really hardcore on the video games, and everybody brought their, computers, and like I miss that because we don't do that anymore, right? We don't carry our stationary computers to a house with our screens and all that anymore just to do a LAN party. But it wasn't a LAN party until late at night, and then it was just like this really fun thing where we all play against each other.
That sounds absolutely lovely, and also like how they just took you in. I feel like family is a very broad term. Like it can be a chosen family, it can be a blood family, like it can be anything. But as long as there's some sort of connection, and that's what matters. And if people take you in for Christmas, I feel like that can be family. Sounds really good. But also, I will say, you can still do that. We do, pandemic notwithstanding, but otherwise we do at least 2 LAN parties a year with my friends, and we grab all of our shit and we go over, and it's not as difficult as you remember, because we did it a lot back with the CRT monitors, and that was such a pain to carry them anywhere. Also, they took so much space, and they got so hot, and it was the worst. But these days it's pretty easy, honestly, and that was my main reason to getting the Steam Deck. That's going to be my LAN party computer. I'm just going to bring that, a dock, and a screen, and a mouse and a keyboard. I haven't tried it yet, but like plan is early next year. Go anyway.
I like that.
Yeah, man, like a Nordic LAN party would be cool at some point.
Yes,
that's the. After I just say it's a little bit of work of traveling with your tower and your monitor and everything. So like, why don't you travel to another country with that? Yeah.
We're gonna do Stockholm again next year, and then Hell and I have to carry the computers with us through the plane.
Or you just buy gaming laptops. Like that's been my thing. The new
Steam Deck, I'm fine.
The new gaming laptops are actually pretty neat because they extend past the monitor on the back, so they get more cooling, but they're not that much heavier. So they're actually like viable machines now compared to like the old Alienwares of the past. They like just got ablazed after you played on Minecraft for like 5 minutes. No, like these new ones are really cool. I think I paid like 10,000 crowns, so that's like 1,000 euros for mine, because I got a deal, and it's got like ray tracing support and stuff. So don't diss gaming laptops. Like I bet like within 5 years, people are just gonna stop using stationary computers for like if they're LAN people.
I want this written out.
I'll write down like this. I'll tweet this.
2027, people will switch from desktops to gaming laptops.
If they're LAN people, if they're LAN people.
Okay. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Like they might still bring an extra screen. That's fine. But like, if you have a gaming laptop and an extra screen, that's 2 screens and a gaming computer. I mean, it's reasonable.
I like how it's getting longer and longer. But also a screen.
No, I'd bring an extra screen,
external keyboard and a mouse and a.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like that.
Yeah. And maybe like a desktop tower, actually.
Just for a server, like on the side.
Hey.
So I'm just going to jump in a little bit talking about the screens and stuff. Have you all not seen the screens that can just attach to your computers nowadays?
Yeah,
like your laptop, it's legit just a screen that you just attach to your laptop, fold it in so it's collapsible, and you're just still running around with a laptop. And there's no need to lug around a giant monitor either. It just is there.
Quick question: do the audience hear you, or is it just us?
They heard me this time. They hear me this time.
Okay, cool. So those are really cool. I think. Yeah, sorry, Sylvia, what were you saying?
I was just agreeing. It's not important.
Okay. Yeah, but I think laptops have come apart like a long way from back in the day. But I don't know, man. I'm not gonna give my desktop not my tab.
Oh, I'm not saying give up your desktop. I'm just saying like don't bring it on trips.
I got my Steam Deck. I'm fine. It's all good.
Fair enough. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think enough about the memory stuff. We got into a little bit of a different topic, but there's a big question, right? There's the biggest question of them all. How much time do we have? Even we have a lot of time.
Yeah, we have time. We're fine.
So, sure, but let's get to the big question. So, what's everyone's game of the year? And we've chosen to define it a little bit differently, I guess, than what's usually game of the year. Basically, like what game made the biggest impact during this year. It doesn't have to be one that came out this year. It doesn't have to be one that you like. I guess played this year.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say yeah. As long as you played it this year, that's fine. Like if you played a game that came out like ET from '86, yeah, you can throw that out. I would judge you, but you can throw it out. Like it's fine.
It's funny that we're talking about game of the year and you like talk about ET in the same context. Is that like a joke or did you actually like it?
No, ET was one of the worst games ever made and almost crashed the whole game industry, which is so that was like
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I
think in Nevada, the deserts of Nevada, you can still find like thousands and thousands and thousands of cartridges that would just be like buried in the sand, and it was not good movie, not a good game. Sorry,
did I read it correctly when they said that they tried to hide those in the desert?
Yes.
Yeah. They put like it was just after like it was a massive like colossal flop, and they were like, what are we gonna do with this? And this was before anyone cared about the climate. They're like, I don't know, just dig a hole and drop them in. Well, I don't care, whatever, just put the shit out there. Yeah, I mean it was the 80s were a wild time. Okay, it was a different time.
So assuming that ET wasn't our game of the year,
bold assumption.
What was the game of the year? Because I have one, but I'll save mine a little bit.
No.
You guys can start.
You're talking. You go, man.
It's okay. It's tough because so Viv is going to be a little bit mad at me for being secretive about this, but my game of the year is Cult of the Lamb. I have played so much of that game, and Viv's been trying to get me to play it. Our producer again has been trying to
I love Cult of the Lamb, by the way, so I win.
Yeah, you win. But I haven't said anything because I was like, I'll save this if we do like a little game of the year thing at the end of the year, which we do right now. But it is such a fun game. There's a lot of like issues with bugs and stuff like that, but I'm sure they can get that hammered out. But I basically sat on my Switch Lite that has like 4 hours of battery capacity, had to recharge it 6 times, and then I had finished the game basically. So that's how long it is. It's 6 Switch Lite charges long. But it's just a fantastic game. Sort of like Animal Crossing and I don't know, what's it called? Dark Souls-y gameplay at the same time. It's a good mix. You get breaks and you get intense action. It's like a little cult. I really think everyone should play it because it's like a really fun game. Really fun game.
So Kim, you should then go play the stream version and connect it to Twitch because you do get something extra out of that experience. So
but I already played like 16 hours of it, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of a break, see if they have any updates, and then I'll come back to it, I think.
Fair.
But yeah, anyway.
Sorry, Celia?
Sorry, Hill, how about you?
Oh, well, I was just first going to comment that, I've heard a lot of good stuff. I haven't tried Cult of the Lamb yet, so yeah, I'm not entirely surprised, and also hearing Viv, rage about the game, I'm even less surprised. So yeah, fair enough. I don't know. Mine is I had a hard time choosing because there's an obvious one, which is Elden Ring. It was a honestly quite phenomenal game. But then there's been these smaller games. Unpacking is something I played this year, and it's a really nice game. It's this pixel graphic, and then all you do is take items out of cardboard, unpack a cardboard box, and because you're moving, and then it tells it tells a nice story of a person's life, and then you just get unpack and put stuff around, and it's a very sort of Zen-like game. And it hit me maybe in a moment when it's not a long game. I think I played it in 2 evenings, a couple of hours each evening, and it just hit me like I got to kind of relax, and everything else just faded away, and I was just like, oh, where would I put this vase, and how would I? Okay, and it was very nice. And then the other one, it's the kind of opposite, which is Iron Lung, which is this super minimal graphically. Like it looks like an original Half-Life mod. You're just in this little tube, and you have to move this. You have like 4 buttons. You move up, or you can change the angle and the velocity forward or backwards of this Iron Lung, like submarine, and then you just gotta find these things, and then you take a photo and you try to but it's like it's so tight, like the atmosphere in that game. It's like every run is about an hour long, and you just try to get to the end. If you crash too hard to a wall, you die. But otherwise, you just take these photos and you get these super grainy photos from the sea, and it is like I said I'm not good with horror games, but that one is like an intense atmospheric game. It's not exactly horror, but even there I had some moments like, and then just sometimes you just took a picture like, oh boy, okay, no, okay. And then the sound, like how they work with sound, is phenomenal. If you do try, I don't know, it's like maybe €5, probably less than that on Steam. I really recommend people checking it out and just put out the lights and everything. Just put on headphones and get into it. It is intense. It was a really, 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 really cool experience. Also,
it is a scary game.
Yeah,
it is a scary game.
What is the name of the game again? Sorry.
Iron Lung is the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's I also like it is incredibly simple, but they managed to keep it really tight and really intense with such simple gameplay. Like it was, I just really enjoyed it. If you have an hour, it's definitely worth trying out. But yeah, so my answer is like these 3. I don't know. I guess
fair.
I guess Iron Lung made the biggest impact. Unpacking helped me the most. Elden Ring was the most fun. Sure. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good answer. Yeah. Game of the year is always too hard.
Yeah. That's true. Sylvia?
So I tend to always play a lot of the same games over and over again. So I feel a little bit guilty when I have to answer this question because I haven't played any of the new games or any of the games that have been on, all the awards where there are Game of the Year awards or anything for this year. So there are 2 games that I would like to bring up, and I know that this sounds so cliche, but I really did like Dream Daddy because it just put me in a different mindset to playing games than I'm used to, and it wasn't serious. It was just light fun, and it was flirting with handsome men and that story that surrounds that. So for me, Dream Daddy actually was one of the games that I loved, and I loved talking about it with other people. I was even in a panel debate with some Norwegian politicians about the games industry. And one of the state secretary asked me for recommendations of games, and I remember just telling him about Dream Daddy because I liked it so much. And then I was like, oh crap, I forgot that this is a game that's maybe not for everybody, but it was such a fun game. So for me, I think on one side, I would say Dream Daddy because it was just light fun that just brought a lot of joy to my life. This year, but also on the other side is the big game that was released, which is a part of the series that I play the most, which is Total War Warhammer 3.
Ooh, yeah.
I think there are a lot of bugs going on with that game, and it took a lot longer to get a lot of different types of releases or parts of the game. But I play it so much, and I play it with my best friend, so it's a warm part of my life. So for me, I guess it would be those 2 games, Total War Warhammer 3 and Dream Daddy would be my 2 games of the year.
Good games. I am actually not surprised that you really like Dream Daddy, but I wasn't expecting you to go for Game of the Year because I'm happy about that. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great game, and I would say I kind of disagree a little bit with you, Sylvia. I think it's a game for everyone. I feel like everyone should give it a shot because it's a quite wholesome story. It's very nice. It's pretty well. It's quite well written, and the art. I feel like everyone should try it. It's like not every game is ever going to be for everybody, but I think quite a few people would surprise themselves by liking the game, honestly. But yeah, I understand if you're talking about politicians, it's just like a different world. Yeah, fair enough.
It's funny though, because like now we're all agreeing that Dream Daddy is one of the best games that we've played this year. Is that like an official statement that Dream Daddy is the Icebreaker game of the year? Because like the other games that we were talking about, it's like, yeah, that's a cool game, sure, that's nice. But then Dream Daddy, we're all like, hell yeah, like yeah, this is good stuff. Because this is a.
I remember we were having a chat about this, not on a stream, but we were chatting about it, and I told you guys about Dream Daddy, and then everybody's like, "Oh, we got to play that," and then we've got into the biggest arguments and the most debates on all of our conversations that we've had because of this game. So it's got to be an important part of our history, at least.
Sure.
Well, yeah, because also like when you think about it, like if you let's say we play everybody plays Warhammer, Total War, Warhammer 3, and you know you choose Skaven, I choose Britons, you choose whatever. Like, you know, like it's not that personal. It's like, oh, I don't like Skaven, so like, oh yeah, Britain, oh, that's cool or whatever. But like when you talk about relationship, it gets so and kind of like your preference, it gets like under your skin a little bit in a way, and it's yeah for sure, it makes sense. And I think you're on the money there, that it had the biggest kind of effect, I think, on us. Almost broke our group.
Cool.
Yeah, it did almost break us. There were some fights going on. Like, I know that not everybody that's watching right now has seen our stream about Dream Daddy, but also behind the scenes when we were before the streams and even our meetings before, we were fighting. We were all out fighting about this game. And
it was intense.
Yeah, we even threatened to have a PowerPoint presentation session about why and who. Yeah, there was.
I still think it was a shame that we didn't. It would have been worth it.
Ready. But you guys didn't make it. You didn't have one ready for the stream, so I had one ready. I was ready to go.
Oh, you
want to show it now?
Ready?
Do you want to show it now?
No. I've erased it now, so I don't have it anymore. But...
Damn it.
Like a lost piece of ancient history.
Slide. Just one slide with a picture of Craig and just.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because I did the background picture.
Yeah, I did the picture. That's my background with Craig in his underwear.
I think
I feel like the fact that she changed the background, she had the PowerPoint, that should have probably give us an idea that maybe this was her game of the year. You know, that's on us, honestly, me and Kim. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Honestly, like, you know, like I can still reminisce over that and say, like, yeah, this definitely it did impact me a lot more than Cult of the Lamb. But like from a gameplay perspective, or like what I played the most, it was Cult of the Lamb. But the biggest impact, definitely Dream Daddy. So I'm gonna keep this up for a couple of minutes just because he's so cute.
Not the word I would use, handsome, but not cute. But I'll feel you. I feel you.
Are we gonna get back?
Let's go.
Viv is already writing in the chat, no Craig, and I'm ready to throw down the punches.
Yeah. But I will say, like, Dream Daddy doesn't have a lot of bad choices. Like I can't honestly say that there's a lot of bad choices. There's one questionable choice, I would say, but like, yeah. But you know.
Well, there's the one where you start a cult, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a little questionable. Anyway, Dream Daddy, I would say, like, if you think about games, are you just separate? Like, you're just talking about the game, the gameplay, the story, the graphics, the sound, like everything, all of that, or are you talking about everything else around it? Because Dream Daddy on its own, I think, is a good piece of work. It's a fine game. But what elevated it for me was experiencing it with you guys and talking about it. Whereas, like, for example, Iron Lung, I experienced it on my own, and it was really, really cool. So how do you, like, kind of like, you know, Mario Kart is an okay driver if you drive by yourself, but if you play with friends,
exactly,
yeah.
But maybe it's that's why we sit here and like not other people, is because we are the kind of people that do want to talk about our experiences and we do want to talk about like how we feel about things. So maybe is kind of what makes us feel like impacted by a game, is how we felt around it, like the context it was in. So if you felt really impacted by Iron Lung because you were in a dark room and like then you have a lot of feelings about it, then of course that's going to be important to you. But also Dream Daddy, because we had sort of like an experience together, like maybe this is a clear answer for us just because like we do like talking about this stuff, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm just trying to like think about like what we've done all year, and like a lot of it has been us just talking total malarkey, just because we're excited.
Yes, very true, very true. Honestly, when you think about it, like it's about we're talking. Okay, I guess it's more about Nordic game industry if you have to define this icebreakers. But like for having to do with games, we talk about games surprisingly little, which is weird. Not bad, but weird. But yeah.
I think also like we all are so in it already that there's not like a lot of conversation we can have with each other that are, you know, groundbreaking when it comes to games specifically. But then we do have our like, you know, cultural experience. We've talked about that a lot. Like we've talked about like how Finnish people eat bad food and how Swedish people are like the twinks of the Nordics. Like I'm obviously making jokes here, but we have been talking about
that in the name of equality, you have to do one of Norway now, okay?
I don't remember what.
But he's so great anyways, we don't need to make any comments on that.
Oh, I mean, they use oil for shower water. That's what we were.
Thanks for ruining the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome. I'm gonna wipe my tears with my dollar bills or whatever, my Norwegian krone.
Yeah, I knew there was something there. I was just like, well, I bet dissing Finland way more, I think.
But yeah, no, I guess the cultural lens has been kind of cool. And yeah, that's true. That's true. I never thought about like how little we do talk about our guests' games, which is cool. But we don't talk so much about games apart from this. But yeah. Can I quickly ask one question from you, Sylvia, about because we were talking about Total War Warhammer. So I played a lot of Total War games, and I quite like them, and I've tried the Warhammer games, and even though I do like Warhammer, the world and the setting. First of all, like, have you played the other Total War games? Second of all, do you haven't? You have? Oh, okay. Well, then this question, okay, because I was gonna say, for me, what kind of ruined it is that it doesn't matter if it's Shogun or medieval or if it's Empire or Alexander, whatever. It's in the real world, in the real world map, and that kind of is cool. But then in Warhammer, the map, like the world, just had no meaning or value or anything to me. Like nothing. I had no ties to anything. You know, like when I played and I conquered Sweden. Like that felt good. That felt right.
You know what?
Take him down.
Yeah, but like that doesn't exist in Warhammer. So like I wonder if that, like, what is it about Total War Warhammer that made it like, or is it what we're talking about, like the extraneous stuff? Like, is it because of your friend you play with them, or is it the game itself, or both, or what?
I think it's the fact that I can play it with my friend. But I mean, it's a good game, and it's a game that lasts for a really long time, right? Like it takes a long time to finish one game, and the fact that I can do that over a long period of time with my friend, that's something that appeals to me. We both love strategy games, so strategy games is, you know, a big part of my heart, and so this really works out for a game that will allow you to play it continuously for a very long time, and it's fun. I mean, I like the fantasy universe of Warhammer. I don't know. I hate to say this because this is a turn-based game. I don't really care too much for turn-based games, but the battles are not turn-based in Total War Warhammer 3. So it makes a huge difference because I feel like I'm actually playing RTS, or it feels like an RTS in one way. And with the new, with the new Total War Warhammer 3, they've changed things up a little bit so that your turns are all simultaneously, and so you don't actually have to wait like you had to in 2 or 1. So that really appeals to me, that we can do that together as a team, discuss things that are happening all the time. But I didn't want this to be a stream about Total War because this is a Christmas stream. But sorry, I haven't played the other games, so I can't tell you.
Fair. But I mean, like, you know, Total War, a lot of killing and blood is red, which is the color of Christmas. So I feel like we can tie it back in. It's all good. It's fine. Fine.
Oh, what a save! What a save!
Not stretching at all.
Not at
but
all.
yeah, not at all. So I guess okay. So to recap, so I guess the official game of the year of Icebreakers in general is Dream Daddy. But then
I think
we had
so. Yeah.
Yeah, but then we have from Finland Iron. I think I will go with Iron Lung in the end, and then Cult of the Lamb from Sweden, and then which one is it? Is it Total War from Norway, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Dream Daddy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Both.
Double
Dream Daddy as an official answer, but a bunch of other answers personally. I like that. That's a good mix.
To be fair, now that I mentioned that, you didn't mention it, but it made me think. Like, you have these games. Why would you like? Imagine if you had like Total Daddy. Like,
God.
I would play. Imagine
with dads.
No, I was thinking like Total
War.
Yeah. Then you have like, imagine this. You can see hundreds and hundreds of daddies, and then just running on a battlefield and
my daddies. My poor daddies.
In their underwear anyway, so that'll be okay with me. That's fine.
Fair.
That's it.
I'd just be so sad to see them die in battle. I don't know if I could take that.
Maybe they just actually run to hug each other.
That's the battle. The battles are hug battles.
Or like pillow fights. They all run with different kind of pillows, and you can like research pillow technology. And
that's coffee.
Sorry, what?
That's true.
Battles. Who makes the best coffee?
There you go. Yeah.
Do we have to get in touch with Game Grumps now?
Yeah. Daddy battles. That's the next big hot thing. Let's go. Viv, were you saying something? Burger. Ooh, yeah, that's making burgers. That is true. Burger battle royale, baby.
Well,
I guess
getting off topic.
A little bit, yeah.
But I guess
for today.
Yeah, I think that's enough for today, probably.
Well, I have one last question. Sure. So, we talked about the memories. So I'd just like to ask, like, because when I was a kid, I didn't like, my parents got me a computer because they thought like it would be useful, and also I was interested and blah blah blah. And then I asked for games, and they were like, nah, no games, no. But then, of course, you know, birthdays and Christmas were a little bit different. Like, did you? Because I think some games to me are just Christmas games because I got them as a Christmas gift. But I didn't get very many games as a Christmas gift. There's a precious few that I got. Like Planescape Torment is a game that I got as a Christmas present. It had absolutely nothing to do with Christmas, but in my head, it is one of the Christmas games. So I just want to ask about you guys, like when you were growing up with like how was it in your house with games? Like, did you get this Christmas gifts, and did you or yeah?
This is a hard question. I didn't get any games from my mom. My mom refused to buy me games at all. But my brother, who was 18 years older than me, he loved to give me games. And that all started with great brother actually. So I got his old Game Boy. That was the first game system that I got. Was his old Game Boy as a Christmas gift, like slightly before Christmas. He was like, "You're gonna need this during Christmas." And then I got like Zelda and like all kinds of old games. I think I had Pokemon as well. And I just sat and played that. And that like continued. Like he would just keep buying me games. Eventually, him and my mom kind of got together and bought me a PS3. And that was like when I was at the age that I could buy my own games. But now I had a PS3, so now I could buy all kinds of games. So that was kind of the biggest one, was getting a PS3 and setting it up immediately in front of the TV and like playing, I don't know, some stupid racing games or something like Gran Turismo, and just everyone just sitting and watching me be so excited about it. Like I didn't see myself obviously, but I've had people like tell me that I don't know, like family members from far down the family tree, be like, "Yeah, I still remember you playing Gran Turismo and sucking at it." but it was really fun to see you play it. And, like, that's pretty special to me somehow.
That sounds good. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Kudos to your brother. Like, it sounds, and your family too. Like, actually watching. The only time my family was the VR. That's the only time they kept their attention. Anything else, like,
Oh, but this was after Donald Duck had already happened. Like, because that's when people collect in front of the TV in Sweden, is for Donald Duck at 3, and then after that, people just kind of chill out on the couch, and I was on the floor playing. So they didn't have a choice, basically.
That was very strategic of you, like, to choose that time. Sylvia?
I didn't choose.
That's the time when the TV was free and you went for it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, fair enough. That makes
But
sense. Okay,
Sylvia?
My family never bought me games. They've never been a part of anything to do with games. But I guess my one experience with buying games is with my friends. We'd, instead of buying each other Christmas presents, we would pick a co-op game. We would each buy that same game and then play it together. So very often we would play Borderlands. Like when there are several versions of that. So like for many years we would buy the Borderlands games and then play them during Christmas break together. And that was also that. So to me, that's a really fun memory, is playing the Borderlands games during Christmas break with my friends.
That's
cool.
a good one, man. Yeah. It's weird. Like, sometimes it's difficult to get people to buy the same game. Like, it's cool that you have someone who's like syncing so well. You're like, okay, yeah, hey, new co-op game, hell yeah, let's go, and then you both buy it. Like, that's really nice.
You have no idea how many hours we spent trying to find the games that we're going to be both okay with.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go through the Steam list co-op. Let's see. Are you interested in that? No. Are you interested in that? No. Oh. we got a Borderlands game. We both like Borderlands. That'll work. Okay, let's do that.
That's so much fun.
Fair. Yeah, I have to say, I feel like that. So a quick shout out to Game Pass in that sense, because in pandemic it was so much easier when people didn't have to buy the games. It was just like, hey, there's this game on Game Pass, and then if it doesn't cost anything, it was easier. Like, we had once a week we try like a game, so it's just like, oh yeah, I'll download it, let's play it, and that changed everything. Because before that it was, like you said, we went through a list and you said like, hey, you throw a game, and then there's like 4 people like, oh yeah, sounds cool. I'm a person like, nah, and then you're just sort of like, and it's hard to say for someone who's like not super interested. Like, come on, just spend 20 euros on it. Like, so it's kind of difficult. So yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. You know what, Celia? You sound like you have pretty cool friends, to be honest.
Actually, yeah.
Let me tell you. Sorry, I have the best.
I don't doubt it. With all that money, you can buy the best friends.
Right.
All right. I guess we're pretty much done. We're going a little over the time. I think I just want to quickly mention about the next stream, which will be in January, and it's going to be because global game jams are happening in January, and we would be not a great stream about game industry if we didn't somehow get into that. So we're gonna have game jam people from every Nordic country, and we're gonna be talking with them what it's like to organize this, if there's differences between these Nordic countries and how they do game jams, and just about game jams in general. Game jams are pretty cool, So any last words of wisdom? Anything you want to throw out there into the wild sea of the internet? Kim, you look sufficiently spaced out that I'm going to give you...
I'm so sick. Like, I have such a hard flu. That's it. Happy holidays.
Don't get sick. Sorry?
I'd like to say something, and that's that I hope you guys all have a very happy holiday season. I hope you get to play some fun games. And I would really, really like to say, please take care of your mental health during this time, because Christmas is always a little bit difficult for people, or it is often difficult for people. And so please take care of yourself, and I hope you get to have play a lot of fun games this holiday season.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good shout out. Yeah, have happy, healthy holidays. Take it easy on yourself. Relax, recharge, and let's meet 2023 head on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Have a great holiday.
Yes.
season.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care,
Have a wonderful. Oh, and a great New Year's, I guess.
Happy New Year's, yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye bye.